like that. The whole reason I went into the fitness industry personally was I wanted to carve my own path. I didn't want to do what everyone else was doing. And that was me not settling on the norm.
The expected.
Yeah, the expected.
You're not willing to break down what you've built in the way that you've built it to then go to the next step and enjoy.
Why not just chill with fine?
I think it's the standards that you hold yourself to. And for me, that's uncomfortable. Like that is an uncomfortable thing to sit with. If I just settle, I think that shows, one, I wouldn't do it for myself, but two, it shows the people around me that it's okay to do that.
What got you here won't get you there.
Bro.
The new devil at every level. And
Yeah.
my biggest one has been letting go control and letting the rest of the team step up.
The old must die for the new to live.
So one of my good mates that I went to kindergarten with, he passed away when we were 19. So on the bad days, though, it does make me think about the opportunities that he never got a choice to have. To me, that's like, I've got to have a fucking crack in my lifetime because he didn't get a choice and I won't mess up on having a crack myself.
That is so fucking powerful, hey?
Said everyone's busy, everyone has everything, but you still have the choice to choose whether you take that next step or not. And then it's just us consistently together choosing every single day that we're moving to this mission, this purpose.
Run us through what a typical week looks like as $1 million studio owner. Welcome to the Jans, Jacob and Nath from Newstrength. Shout out to the Newcastle boys. Welcome aboard, boys.
Thank you for having us,
mate.
guys. I'm very, very pumped to be here.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Now, just before we get into it, you guys just told me just before we jumped on, this is a bit of a full circle moment. Can you explain what that's about?
Yeah, it's almost 12 months. So it's 11 months to the day of where I first sent one of the potties to Jacob.
One of these potties to Jacob.
100%. And I sent him to him and then we essentially just binged the podcast. I know Jake had you on 1.5 speed.
Oh, that would have been hectic.
Yeah, it's, honestly, I don't think I've told you this, but when we first then got into the program, I obviously went through Sailor Day and then did all the school like modules and it was still Dozer 1.5 times speed. And then I got to his first MDS call and I was like, something's off with Dozer today. I was like, he seems like he just doesn't have the same energy. And it took me a little while and I was like, oh, wait, I'm used to Dozer on 1.5 times speed,
On
which
crack.
is like he's drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
And it took me a while and I was like, I can't put Dozer on 1.5 speed anymore because I feel like real life Dozer is down a couple of levels.
Yeah. Could you imagine if I was like, I'd cook you guys, I reckon, if I was 1.5 at work.
Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
We wanted to get you guys on board because I think your journey as a partnership in a fast-growing company is something that we wanted to kind of unpack for the rest of our listeners and certainly for the rest of the folks in the academy as well because, there's the dynamic of a partnership. There's the stuff you had to overcome. And you guys have almost been the model students. I say almost because we haven't received any merch.
It was actually coming
That's
today.
Jake.
No way.
That is
coming
Jake's
today and,
fault. It was coming today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We pushed it a little bit late time-wise and I was like, I can't swing back
no.
way.
We
Did. It's
I feel bad
sitting
now.
in the pigeonhole
It
there.
is.
I was like,
right.
do we post it with the vision booklet? And then Jake was like, no, let's give it to him in person with the pod. And then he obviously had to jump in and cover because Jess was crook. And then things happened and we got in the car and I was like, are we going back to the studio to grab the merch? And Jake was like, we might be 5 late if we do that. So we thought we'd leave for
You know
another
what?
day.
Standards, you don't turn up late. So
Standards, big thing. Okay, great. Well, look, I appreciate
Sydney event though, it'll be there.
Yeah.
that. Great,
That's
good. Yeah.
Love that.
And so will you. That's good. So look, I'd love to unpack for our listeners, and because let's get a little bit tactical and let's nerd out here for these guys. So the exact journey from when you came to us at kind of survival mode through to, you're about to break through $1 million a year, the mindset shifts along the way that you guys have been great at to kind of help you get unstuck, the stuff you had to upgrade in yourselves, because you guys weren't strangers to being in mentor programs or business academies, right? The tactical strategies that you've been working with so far to get you moving again and wherever we go from here. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So
Let's do it.
And let's get unfiltered, okay?
Yep.
So, right, so the headline stats are you came to us low 60s, you're fucking knocking on the door at 84K a month right now, which is the $1 million run rate. When you joined us, your dream was 230 members. Is that right?
210 it was.
Yeah, 210. it
210
actually was.
members. Where are you guys at now?
220. And
Damn!
Yeah. Yeah, which is mental.
And just for context, explain your concept, Newstrength from Newcastle.
You can go for it.
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah. So essentially we are small group and semi-private personal training for busy professionals, parents that want to look, move and feel their best so they can impact their lives outside of it. We're not about the six-pack abs or anything. It's not about in the gym. It's how they show up in the rest of their lives. It's how they show up for their kids. It's how they show up for the people that count on them so they can live the life they want to live and make an impact and live a life of purpose.
Love that. And again, for context, married and kids, explain that situation.
So I'm married. I got two beautiful kids. I got Macy and Lennox.
Yeah.
And Macy's in year 1. Lennox will start kindergarten next year. We actually had his orientation yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Wife is very busy. So she's in a GM role for a very, very big company. She works same as me, like 6-7 days a week. And the juggle is very, very busy. That was one of the biggest things that we had to adapt to along the way. And I think that's one of the biggest learnings as well that I'm sure we'll dive into.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm probably in the longest non-married fiance relationship.
Oh, wow.
So we'll probably get in trouble for that
We'll
one
unpack
here.
that one,
Yeah, I think I was longest non-engaged and now pushing into the longest engaged. And not married. But Jess and I both, we're both very happy. Jess works in the business with us. She's an absolute gun. And then we have 2 beautiful kids as well. So yeah, it's definitely a juggle of having, I kind of have my work wife in Nath and my actual wife that are both at work.
Yeah.
They seem to work at the same times and I'm on the opposite shift. So
Yeah. And so like the reason to paint that picture is why?
Most of our members have got kids themselves. Some of them 7, some of them 1.
Yeah.
Not age, like number of kids. So it's very common that people will be like, oh my God, my kid's going to be there. Is that okay? Or you either use it as an excuse or like, well, this is the reason why I need to do it.
Yeah.
So the juggle is very much real.
It's very real.
And the business, right? Which is another screaming baby as well. Okay, great. So take us right back. What did life look like before you joined us? Like where did let's go back. Paint the picture for us.
The
typical week, typical day.
The typical week was, I feel like it was good enough, if that makes sense, Dose. Yeah. We were in that portion, I think. It was good enough. Like we looked at circles around us and gyms around us that weren't in franchises and we were normally doing better than them. And it was good enough. Like we never had that push to go to that next level. So I think it was getting in, it was doing the job, and it was getting out, but it lacked vision. We lacked that stretch within ourselves. And I think that was that deep desire that we needed to fill. And then that's where we found that podcast and really resonated with a lot of things where Jake and I had that burning desire for more. But I think what put it out was people saying that we were doing well or it was good enough. And there wasn't that actual stretch or expectation where if you told people in the industry you were doing over $500,000 a year, they'd say that was good. But Jake and I both felt like that wasn't good enough.
That's epic.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of like 2 months forward, 1 month back and things like that where it was just inconsistent. We probably didn't have consistencies in our processes. We didn't have like a lot of the game plans moving forward. Like there wasn't a lot of strategy as to how we were going to make the next steps. It was kind of just it's a Nathan Jake show and
it was a bit more X factor.
And we probably lent into that. Like a lot of the time I think Nathan and I have had a lot of success from like just running our heads at a brick wall and it's done us well. But at the same time, it wasn't getting us to those next levels. And I believe that I believe we're capable of doing amazing things. And I think we're getting into our 30s now. It's kind of like when you've got kids, you start to think about it as like, I've got to be actually starting to fucking make these things happen.
Seriously.
And I feel like it was doing the same thing that we were doing right then and there wasn't going to get us to do these amazing things, that wasn't going to get us to make an impact on our local community and change the future for our kids to grow up in. And we needed something to just kick us along. And that's where as Nate sent us through the podcast and I was like, all right, it's time for us to play at another level now. And it wasn't good enough to keep doing the same thing that we were doing before.
How long were you doing that for? Like how long were you in the kind of the good enough phase?
Oh, mate, we were probably still growing 20% like year on year. So it's kind of like we were growing, but it just...
You just knew you had more in you.
It lacked that longer term vision though. It's like that vision and purpose and would have the metrics and the processes. But I think the metrics lacked meaning and the processes lacked their purpose because we didn't have that stretch vision of what are we actually doing? Like what are we doing these things for? And as Jacob said before, there wasn't enough clarity on that why. So then once we got to that point and we've unlocked that and we've done a deeper dive in our CEO retreat, which we'll dive into, I'm sure, in this pod. God,
yes.
Now that we can see where we're reverse engineering from, that we can actually paint the picture of what success looks like. And then now that we know what success looks like and what that runway looks like, I think now we're more excited than ever. And then that's what's been the kick forward.
That's like, you just said more excited than ever. Like this is the second chat we've had this week where someone said before they came to us, they were you guys were saying like it was good enough. You guys, at least that's still got a positive sentiment to it. There's Soph just read out in the last episode, but I also had another chat this week with, Mel and Richie. And they said before they came to us, they didn't tell me this because they would have got actually qualified out of our sales process, but they said that they turned up to, after 17 years in the business, they were like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
This is it. Like it's taken over at home. The kids never see us. The balance is way out. And I don't even know what we're doing this for. And even though they'd helped thousands of kids through Muay Thai, they were like, I'm done, which would have been an absolute fucking shame for everyone up there.
It's actually very common.
It's very common, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes, but within 3 weeks, fucking the fire's back in the belly, the eyes are sharp again, and Richie's big idea of having the fight farm, you guys will hear more about this later, is back on, and now he wants to fucking take on the schooling system. So he's going to get 3 gyms and like create a fight, like just take it like a separate version of the schooling system. I was like, in 3 weeks, where did this come from? And they said the same thing as you. They said, we just fucking lost sight of why we were doing this. And as soon as that came back, and she said the same thing, was that when she walked into the room in Brisbane, the Brisbane event, and she was like surrounded by people that made it okay and like encouraged to fucking think that big.
Yeah, the
like,
permission to dream.
Permission to dream, the big fuck off goals. They were like, fuck, I didn't know there was people out there that were like this.
Yeah.
So what were the kind of frustrations, the chaos, the stuff that was keeping you up at night?
It felt like we weren't finished. Like
that's restlessness, isn't it?
It wasn't finished, and I think it was navigating through the noise. Like I said before, Dozer, it's like it's good enough, but it still felt like we had work that wasn't finished and we hadn't met our potential. And that's what kept me up the most. It was like it was there, it was functioning, but I knew it just had so much more in it.
But like, why not just chill with fine?
I think it's the standards that you hold yourself to, and like that's for me, that's uncomfortable. Like that is an uncomfortable thing to sit with. Like I have 2 beautiful children watching me. I have a wife that deserves the best from me. I have a great business partner that also deserves that as well. And if I just settle, I think that shows, 1, I wouldn't do it for myself, but 2, it shows the people around me that it's okay to do that. And then that's just, I feel like it's navigating the noise, and you don't want to let the noise in that it's good enough, or don't worry, mate. Like it's hard. The economy is shit.
Come, mate.
Have a beer, don't worry about it. Like it's like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. And the whole reason I went into the fitness industry personally was I wanted to carve my own path. I didn't want to do what everyone else was doing. And that was me not settling on the norm.
The expected.
Yeah, the expected.
Because like what would have been the expected for you?
Have a good education, get a job like a 9 to 5, and then hate your job and complain about it on the weekend, and then sink beers and complain about it. And then,
seriously,
like what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like, that's
Monday-itis.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I grew up with as like the normal around me, and that irritated the absolute shit out of me. So I essentially had like a fork in the road when I was younger. It was either I can do it my own way or just completely rebel and just surf and be a bum. But I had that point where I did want to achieve things and did want to move forward. And then that's where I found fitness, and then we went from there.
What was your expected path? And why didn't you just settle with like fine? Like if you guys were the big dogs in the other circle, like what's fucking wrong with that?
Yeah, I think like I actually knew this was coming, so I've been thinking about this a fair bit lately. And I guess like I was a pretty switched on kid. Like academically, I performed really, really well in school. Like I nearly went down the PhD route.
Wow.
Ultimately, like the thing that came down to that there is at the time I was working, Nathan and I were working together while I was going through my honours, and I basically spent all my time working with people. I loved working with the people, the impact that we're making, and I really despised going through the research and writing my research papers. And I ended up I had a PhD scholarship lined up, and it was conditional that I got a certain mark. I got 0.6 off the mark over the whole year, off what would have pushed me into the PhD. Wow. And initially I was pretty bummed about it. And then afterwards I realized, and I was like, the reason why I got the mark that I did was because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I was getting through on.
Would you reckon subconsciously?
That, and just like I was putting the effort to progress myself as a coach, and with the people I was learning the sales. At that time I was starting to do the sales for the business that we used to work for, and in those side of things, like that's where I was applying all my energy, because that's what I was getting energy back from. And this other thing just wasn't the right thing for me, but it was the route. And this is a time in sports science as well. And anyone that's listened to this has gone through a sports science degree. Like a lot of the guys probably 10 plus years ago when I went through, like they didn't go and get a real job in sports science. They did sports science, they did a PhD, and then they went and taught sports science.
Oh.
So that's the only thing they knew. So they're like, oh, this is what you do. You do well, you get this, you do your PhD,
and then you teach
and then you get a teaching job on it there. So that's kind of the way that the pathway that was put in front of you. And you're like, all right, well, unis are a stable gig, being like teaching the courses, a lecturer and so on. And that was kind of, it's like, and you maybe get into sport or something like that. But I just found it wasn't for me there. And I think the really big thing of like the why not settle when we go back to that is, and this is probably one that we'll see how, I'm not normally the most emotional guy, but we'll see where this gets us to here.
Safe will cry.
So one of my good mates that I went to kindergarten with, he passed away when we were 19. And he had a congenital heart condition that he was just never aware of. And he just didn't wake up one morning.
Shit.
And we've had the luxury of that. Like I've maintained a really strong relationship with his parents since then. His mum's actually a member at our gym. We get to talk about him all the time now, and it keeps him alive to us there. But I remember having this conversation with her one day, and it was when I told her that we were having our first baby, and she was so excited for us, and it was the best thing ever. And then she sat down with me and she's like, oh, I really love getting to have these moments with you because I get to think about the things that Kurt never had. And on the good days, it gets me to really enjoy it because I get to still be there. I get to enjoy that for you guys. On the bad days, though, it does make me think about the opportunities that he never got a choice to have. And that comes back to me all the time as like, I've got this opportunity to do great things. I have the capacity to, I have the choice to. And if I don't take that, what am I doing there for a mate of mine that didn't get a choice? And I loved him through and through. And to me, that's like, I've got to have a fucking crack in my lifetime because he didn't get a choice and I won't mess up on having a crack myself.
That is so fucking powerful, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so fucking powerful, dude. And I bet he's fucking cheering, dude. I bet he's fucking cheering seeing your boy swinging. So what was the turning point? Like when was the moment you're like, fuck it, we're going to do something about this and send it? The moment you realised something had to fucking change. Was it a shit week, shit day?
Mate, I think it was that. It was the just chipping away, and then I got to the point where I was like, fuck this. Like, fuck this. I can't have that. And I just got agitated by people saying like it was good, but it didn't feel like it was good. Just didn't feel like I didn't organically feel that. So I essentially just searched, and I wanted to get the business to $1 million for lots of reasons. Like one, because people said you couldn't. Two, I knew.
Like that one.
Yeah. Two, because I knew statistically it was really low. But then three, also, I believed in Jake and I knew if we were at that point, we could have a massive impact on the people within the gym and then the ripple effects that go out. And we often talk about that in the gym. It's like we don't measure our success from the reps. We measure the success from the ripples. And that's what this does and ripples outward into our community. So there was a lot of driving factors there that made me just like Google, YouTube, everything like $1 million business, $1 million gym, and just try to take in as much as I could to see what people were doing there. And the common theme was people running it like 150 members. They're doing like 500 or 600K. And that was like what good looked like.
Fuck that.
Exactly. And then obviously you got to navigate through that noise. And then I stumbled.
And all of those people as well are typically the American world, and it's like, oh yeah, no, we can pay $15 to run a class. The owner is making 150, 200K and they're paying their staff members 20K a year. And you're like, that doesn't work.
No, there's illegal.
That's very illegal here. Like these numbers don't add up. And it's like,
correct.
The owner's like, I just went to Europe for 4 weeks. It's all sweet. And it's very different over here.
Yeah, you train as a poor and you're paying them under minimum wage.
Yeah, 100%. And then I found it through all the noise. Yeah. Geronimo podcast, listened to you and Soph. Then straight away, I just binged through so much and I could just tell the belief was there, the standards were higher. And it was like what you say, it's like, why not you?
Fucking why not you boys?
Yeah, exactly.
And by the time this episode's going to get released, where it's September the 5th now, by the time it's out, you guys would have hit it.
Yeah,
100%.
End of September?
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
Like you guys are a fucking week away. Yeah. Like by the time this thing's out, you would have fucking hit it. Is that bonkers?
Mate, it's fucking mental. The thing the thing that I talk to Jake about and you guys is the hardest thing about this 10X and why not you is like, well, where does it stop? And that permission to dream, and you look at it, and then we try and reverse engineer from it. But I think what's happening for Jacob and I, it just keeps changing, that's what's exciting. I think going back to what you said, Dozer, that's what keeps the fire burning. And you look at it from this thing we have called Newstrength, which obviously impacts thousands of lives. It creates career opportunities for our trainers. And then obviously it creates the things that we want in our life as well. It's like this one thing that we lean on and we leverage to make sure that so many people and thousands of people can have their lives changed from it. I think that's what keeps driving it and keeps that fire there.
Are these guys, you're not allowed to have favourites, but are these guys your favourites?
They are my favourites.
Yeah, okay.
When you get the merch.
So
Yeah, when we get the merch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like restless, I knew there was like more in us. Let's fucking 1.5x. Okay, great. We're in. You're in now into the program, into our world. What were some of those limiting beliefs, stories, the stuff you had to kind of unwind that was fine before and was pretty common?
Yeah, mate, honestly, like I think one of the biggest things for me was letting go.
Of course.
Like I've been like, Newstrength's been our baby for so long, and I'm very protective of like what we've built, but I needed to let go some control for the team to step up. Like I think I had my hands in too many things to where it's like you used to say, like you just get the, hey, Dozer. And then when I would hand off something there, like I wouldn't give enough control to the person where they could reinvent it and step it up and that sort of thing. So they would only follow the system, but then I was still continually upgrading. At the same time, I'm like, why isn't this person doing it at the level that like I can see it to be now? And then I just jump back in and take over it. And then, so I think that was the big one for me, was then going, if we're going to be here, I can't be doing the same things as like what I was doing before. Like Nathan and I talked about, we had our pod the other day of our 8 lessons in 8 years. And my biggest one was like what got you here won't get you there. Like the new devil at every level. And my biggest one has been letting go control and letting the rest of the team step up.
We always say the old must die for the new to live, right? Like all of us, like this time next year, even the 4 of us sitting here and everyone listening in the car, this time next year, like 80% of us currently right now has to die to make room for the new 80% that will thrive through. Even our calendars, like what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, like that's where we need to align with whatever we think we're going to do to go pro in that. Like your calendars are going to shift. What you're spending money on is going to shift. Your beliefs, who are you listening to? Yeah. So letting go, what about you?
I think the biggest thing, Doze, was again back to the vision and the permission to dream. And then I feel like that puts everything else in alignment and you can see its purpose and its meaning in the journey. So say with the team or even with the members and the clients, like we're doing quotations well.
Yeah.
But I think it just lacked that depth and that meaning and that purpose, where on a day-to-day we were showing up, except where is this thing going? What is the meaning? How can our staff get behind this and make sure we have the right people in the right seats and they can actually get behind something that they believe in, like through and through. And it's much more than a job. It's actually a purpose and a mission.
But were you guys always like thinking this, or did you not get overwhelmed at the start with how much shit there was to do? Or
I got excited, to be honest.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was like, shit, if there's all of this here, here's all these stones that are unturned. Like, how good are we going to fucking be?
That's a great mindset shift, isn't it? Because you normally get the I'm overwhelmed call.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because we were already, like, we weren't trying money. We were already doing good enough. And it's like, if we haven't touched the sides on these things, like, where can we get to with installing these things? And like, we've still got
what a mindset.
This year, it's been probably pretty crazy. And if you were sitting here with our staff members right now, they're probably like, Nathan, Jake try to install a new thing every 3 weeks. Like, Jake's like, we're doing this. Oh no, I'm going to change this. We're going to change this, and so on. And there's constantly like, we had our boat chat, which was incredible. We had a great weekend away at Mudgee with the team.
Great.
Nathan and I ran a marathon. It was super cool, and got to put that on with the team. It was such a nice weekend away with everyone. But the thing of like, when we got there, everyone was like, are you happy? And I'm like, I'm in the time frame. I'm extremely proud of us. But in the time frame, I've realized how much more potential we've got and where we can go to. And it's probably like where everyone else is like, I'm pumped. Like, we've just won the grand final. I'm like, we're just starting a legacy.
Bro, I'm 100% with you. Like, we just,
yeah. Well, no, I'm constantly like coaching people on being happy with where you're at, but knowing that you've got more in you instead of falling into like the fine lines between the gap and the gain mindset. So it's awesome that that's how you felt. You're always talking about relief versus response mentality. Yeah, not just like getting complacent because you've had a quick win and then going, oh, clocked it.
Yeah,
you got to respond.
There is a line, isn't there, between the response versus relief mentality. Like the relief, just for the audience, the relief mentality is like you win a game, you get the best month ever, you celebrate for the next 2 weeks, and you fucking flop the next month because like you're just not like you don't stay sharp. Versus the response is like great, definitely will capture that moment, but it's how we respond next. We always talk about like now go and prove it wasn't a fluke the very next week or the very next month. The difference, I don't know where the line is, like genuinely don't know where the nuance is between like doing that in a healthy way versus it's never enough. I'm not there. Like I haven't, like it's not a problem for me yet. I think what makes it safe, which I'll say, which is a word that I don't normally talk about, is that the underlying purpose behind it is this mission. Right, we're not done yet.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if we could sit around and like we had a BME, but we didn't hit our forecast. Now we hit our big team meeting yesterday, and I was like, guys, the straight down the barrels, like the fucking front end of the business did so well. There's a few things, but we missed the forecast. And even though it says BME, like that's not our standard. Like we're not done yet. There's more studios that need our help. There's more people, like there's areas that we still can improve.
Exactly, though. It's like, I 100% agree, and that speaks to me so much. I think it's when they're too zoomed in.
Right.
Like if you zoom in on a month, like obviously you need to know your numbers weekly, of course, but they're so zoomed in. It's like, let's zoom out and look where this month functions and its purpose in the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I think if you're so zoomed in on that 1 month and not so much what that 1 month means in a quarter, in a year, in 12 months, and what that actual vision is that you're reverse engineered from. And like from what you said, there's more studios that need help. And for Jacob and I, there's more people.
People need help.
More families. Like it's never ending. So yes, you can have a best month ever, but is there still room for us, it's our community, for you, it's nationwide essentially. And further, it's like, is there still room for improvement here, which is going to ripple outwards? And if it's yes, then like Soph said, you with the gap in the game, like you want to be appreciative and celebrate, but it doesn't mean the momentum stops to do that. I feel like you can appreciate it and celebrate it and maintain momentum at the same time.
Yeah, I think
keep moving forward.
Something that stands out, like I remember we had a conversation that was more so to do with like feedback and weekly rhythms and stuff, but containers was the thing you said. And I feel like that's where there's the container to enjoy that piece and then go like, whether that's the boat chat. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll like stop working on this stuff right like for the 3 days when we're at Mudgee. And then as soon as I get back, I'm on the computer, I'm on the gym floor, I'm doing all the things.
That's a great shout.
Like then we're on to the next step. And then it was prepping the team kickoff for our next phase. And we did steal your theme of turning pros.
Good.
Our next one as well. But really,
did you all read it?
R&D.
Or yeah, good. that's a read the book. I mean, like we and then look for ways to like manifest that in the company, right? Like look for visual metaphors. Where can you put the posters up? Like Soph and the team have met. So like I think last month when we did the pod here, like the panel, we did a leadership panel, and there was a guy named Zach. He is a sports coach, first grade sports coach, and it's an underpowered team typically for budget, right? It's Norths in the Shoot Shield. They got like one of the lowest spending budgets, like salary cap, so to speak, and like funding, like stadiums and that in the whole league. But somehow, and every single year, so the last 4 years, they've gotten to the finals, right? And because he's so good at turning amateurs to pros, every single year they lose 14 players to go and play for Japan, Waratahs, Brumbies, Reds, those sorts of teams. So he starts again with a new team, but they still get to the finals, underpowered, right? Like you can't fucking fake that.
No.
So we brought him into our business as a way for us to turn pro. Like we're bringing in more firepower as well as the visual stuff around the office and things like that. So I fucking R&D away, man.
Yeah.
R&D away. So what's it been like working with these guys? So like from when they turned up at like low 60s to knocking on the door, when this thing airs, they will have hit the $1 million run rate.
They will have hit it.
That's like a 20-something K jump from when everyone thought they were already ballers to now unlocking a new room and going, fuck, there's more in us. Okay. Talk us through the sort of systems that you've helped them install and what's you've seen them kind of like set them free.
Yeah. Well, as mentioned, they started with the Sailor Day system, which is awesome. I think one thing to note there is I think a lot of people see successful studios and think that you didn't run into any problems. But the truth about that is it's not like you switched on an ad and then you completely like had to, clear the decks for all these leads, right? But what you have done is you never miss on your like lead calls, following the fucking script, passing your mystery shop.
Oh my God, that mystery shop.
Yeah. I think that was one of the first systems, which has meant that you guys have been able to grow and bring in new business. You already were elite on churn. You've got a great team, great product. So I think the main other things that you've installed has been more to do with playbooking things and bringing in the team handbooks, the vivid vision that you've just done, which is awesome, doing your ideal team design and actually getting clear on those roles and the KPIs and then what are the playbooks so you can hit the KPIs. I think that's what's freed you guys the most to be able to go, all right, well, I've got these big ideas. I've actually got the capacity to explore them and build it. So it's been a combination of, because you guys were already great operators. You already had a lot of the guts of what a successful business and studio needs. But when I think about you guys, or when I think about like a model student and the Geronimo spirit and the people that we want more of in our program, it's you guys. And not just because you're sitting in front of me, like you guys call yourselves out on the standards that you probably don't even need to. You guys have never missed your numbers. They literally just sat in here. I made sure because I knew I'd be recording. I didn't miss a deadline. I submitted my numbers. And the one thing about you guys is you're just so generous in sharing. Like you guys will help everyone else out in the room before you get the help. And I think because of the amount that you put into it, it's exactly what you've then been able to extract from it as well. And that's, I mean, among other reasons why it's been awesome to work with people who will just get down and implement. Not because it's always been easy, has it?
Oh, no. Like our first ad flopped.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we had to go back and forth a lot.
At all. And we ran like in-person sales the whole time, so we didn't do anything over the phone.
Ouch.
And I remember when my first two, essentially they didn't go well. And then Safe was like, just send all your calls through in the recordings. And I absolutely bombarded you guys with recordings, like nonstop, to the point where I can't remember who got back to me. Like, mate, you're okay. Like, you're doing a good job. Just
it might have been magic, actually.
Could have been.
At that point.
No, and just like like we touched on before, the normal juggle, like being parents.
But I don't hear about it.
Yeah, fully dudes. Yeah. Like, it's not a fucking, like, you just.
Valid, but it's just like.
Yeah. Look, it's a thing, man. Like, I've got fucking 3 kids too. Like, it's a thing, but it's not with you guys.
Yeah. Mate, there's people that are busier than us that are making it happen. And at the end of the day, like, it's a thing, but it's a thing because of the good things that we have. Like we get to work in a business that we love. We get to show our kids that we love what we do and we're excited to go to work. Like they're excited to come to the gym and hang out with us when they play on the pull-up bars, they play together. Like they're pumped to be a part of Newstrength. And like, some weeks get hectic with kids, but it's because we get to.
Yeah.
What do you reckon has been the number one, like above everything, the number one, whether it's a system or whether it's a standards non-negotiable, like what's been like one of the biggest things that you think is like really flick something on for you guys?
Ooh. That's a good one, Dozer. Are you ready to roll then, Jacob?
Yeah, I think like I think personally it's been the like actually handing it off to like playbooks and handing it off to the team and
systemizing.
Like systemizing team training. Like Nath does one-to-ones with all of our team every week.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I sort of jump in on 1 a quarter with those guys there where we do vision achievement roadmap for them. Like where are we taking them in the next 3 months and what do we want to see? And then Nath handles it on a week-to-week basis. And that stuff there like gives us a chance to go, okay, cool. Where are we taking these guys as a team? I think being able to implement that. And probably the other thing is like, I don't want to fuck up because I don't want Soph to roast me, but I appreciate when she does.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest thing, like, I think our first week that we did like a 50% rollover and Soph's like, the fuck guys, what's going on? And I was like, oh, it was only one, it was 1 missed from 2, but like, yeah, you're right. We just got to get better. And it always, like to me, it always comes down to, it's a skill gap. Like whatever it is, it's like if we want to do this thing and we've got a dream to get towards and we're moving towards it there, it's either, okay, it's a skill gap and we just haven't done the work to get there. So what is that thing there? And that's, all right, go back through, watch the school modules, see what you can take out of that. Ask one of the guys that's doing well. Like I've had chats with Mo and stuff like that before. And it's like, oh, what are you doing on this here? Or like, okay, cool. We're not getting follows on our Instagram. Like you roasted us for our content when we came down for our VIP day.
Yeah.
And we were used to like the same people like, oh, your content's really good. But the same people it's like, it's doing,
it was the same
doing really
thing.
good. And we thought it too. And then when you took us through, it was like, okay, cool. Like I had finally understood it's like they see it as being good because the pieces are there, but they're already watching. Like they already know us. They're already watching. It doesn't do the job for getting somebody who doesn't know who we are. And that's been a big pivot. It's like we've doubled down on, okay, how do we upgrade our skill set in that? And I think the mindset of just going, okay, we've got some standards and we can action on them and we've got somebody to be accountable to those standards. Because beforehand, it's like, and no business group that we've been a part of, we've been a part of quite a few, but nobody ever checked our numbers. You weren't submitting numbers to go, oh yeah, cool. Like this is where I'm at this week. It was always just like, okay, how are we tracking? Like what's our feelings towards it? Oh, I didn't get many sales. Yeah, well, there wasn't much leads there. Like you could negotiate it. And then now it's like if we don't get any sales in the week, and like we had a pretty light week on sales this week, and they look like they've nudged into, most of them look like they're nudging into next week, but I'm assuming Soph's going to roast me for it this week.
Yeah. I mean, like just
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, these guys get paid based on number submissions. Like they've got the KPIs to hit. Like we're not here to fucking. It's not a crash. Like we said, like the thing on the tin says $1 million studio. Like we'll get you to $1 million studio as long as you guys do your bit, which you are doing. The reason why I roasted you on that day that you came down to the VIP thing, because I knew I wanted you to start doing more advanced stuff on the flywheel, but I couldn't get you there if you didn't have the content.
100%.
So we can always see there's more we haven't told you guys that you guys are going to be doing that you don't even know yet. But like,
I love it.
Just get to this and then there's the next thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Something else I've picked up, like you guys do it, Mo does it, Kane does it, like all the people that we've basically brought on the pod, I don't know how to make this sound like it's not about us, but you speak our language. Right. You can recite anything. You can probably finish your sentences about what we teach. And I think there's something in that. It is frequency.
It's frequency.
Like you lean in, you ask questions, but you also don't wait to be invited to take something that you've heard and know that it's the right time for you to install it and then figure it out or ask Mo. Like no one said, all right, here's a group chat for you and Mo. Like you just do it. I know that sounds really simplistic, but we were talking in our first episode, couple of episodes ago, about the 8 things that kind of set the top 1% apart.
The 8 principles of the top 1%.
Yeah, and you guys are ticking the box on like the extreme ownership. Like there's a bunch of those things.
Resourcefulness.
Yeah, resourcefulness is a huge one. Getting granular, knowing your numbers. So yeah, I think for anyone who's listening going like, how can I be more like those guys? It's not because you've got really amazing like super talented powers and like a big market, addressable market. I don't know what my words are, but like it's not because you guys have a special studio that like someone else wouldn't be able to replicate the stuff you've installed and the character that you've built. Is totally what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But that takes you guys doing that. It's not because of like us or your team even. Yeah. It's you.
I think just to go off what Soph said then and then your question before, Dozer, I think the biggest thing now is back from the permission to dream is that we choose to do it every day. Like you make the choice to get to that point and you have to choose it every single day. You don't have off days whilst we'll navigate and things come up. Like you said, everyone's busy, everyone has everything, but you still have the choice to choose whether you take that next step or not. And then it's just us consistently together choosing every single day that we're moving to this mission, this purpose and this vision.
We actually have never talked about this, but you train at like 3 a.m, right?
4 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
day.
Most Fridays. Yeah.
Like, I admire that.
But why? Why?
It's because it was the only time that wasn't interrupted. And I think as you get busier, you don't have free time. What I say to people, and it helps with parents coming in, you just have the time where you get to choose what you're doing. And I wanted to train and I wanted to be not interrupted because I knew the value that training has for me. And that's what we teach our members, where it's like training is a tool for me to develop myself, to make sure I can show up outside of the gym how I need to. And then it was just getting squeezed. So because it gets squeezed so much, I was like, we can't have it squeezed. It needs to be scheduled. And that was the time I could do that, where it didn't impact the pickups and the drop-offs, and it didn't impact getting on the phone and making a sale, or it didn't impact that time with the team. Then I can still work on myself and still do all those other things.
But you could also just not do it.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
It comes back to what we spoke about before. It's like, I couldn't live with myself to do that. Like whether it's based off integrity and doing what I'm saying I'm going to do. Like I can't with conviction sell the transformation that we do at Newstrength without living it myself. And then also I'm falling short of what my kids, Jacob, my wife, Sarah deserve, and our members and the team. Like they all show up. They need me at my best, and me training is at my best. So it just has to happen.
So just pretend they're not here. Is that normal or not? So is it normal or not?
It's not normal. Like it's an uncommon standard that you hold yourself to, which is why you get uncommon results. But also we've said this in the first episode too, without this sounding like a slight to you, there's also no talent required to have that conversation with yourself. So like if people are listening going, oh, well, he's different, I couldn't do it. It's like, it's not because you aren't actually super involved in your kids' lives. Yeah. You bring Lenny on the calls.
Yeah, I do.
I love him. We always have a little wave at each other.
Up, Lenny.
He asks.
Yeah.
He's like, can I talk now?
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, I think it's just you have to make the choice, Soph, and it's up to you to make that choice. And at the end of the day, if you know why you're doing it, it actually has some depth and has a fire in your belly, then I think it makes it easier to do that choice. But I have people say that to me all the time, like, oh, if I'd done that, I'd be so tired. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking tired. Like,
Like, say I wasn't tired.
I didn't say exactly.
Exactly. Or it's like,
tired,
I couldn't function without my 8 hours of sleep. And it's like, well, like I understand all those things and I understand the importance, but these things have to happen for me to get to where I want to go. And like you say, guys, like there's different seasons and this is the current season. Like, and I can put it on hold and pick up the pieces after the fact. But I think that would be actually the regret of that would be harder than the 3:30 alarm to get up and actually move forward.
How old are your kids?
Maze, they're about to turn 7 and 5. Like their birthdays are just coming up.
Millie's 5, Max is 2.5.
Yeah. They're watching.
Oh, 100% now.
They're fucking watching, eh?
Yeah.
That's what gets me. So you're talking about self-leadership. Self-leadership is the first rung of leadership. Then there's peer leadership, which you guys are doing with each other. But then there's like the team leadership. The leadership we get to do, is like the team that's in our charge. We're not in charge of them. They're in, our responsibility. How do you guys think you've evolved as leaders? What do you think you are? Like if we called Lily now, if we called your team and asked them, so get ready, and asked them in the last 6 to 12 months, how have the boys evolved as your leaders? What do you think they'd say?
Oh, that's a good question.
Play the video.
No. Oh, that would have been, I was excited.
Shit. Next time.
Should have done that.
That's fun.
We did that to one of our clients in testimonial, actually. We had his wife talk about him and it backfired a little bit. He had tears and he couldn't come back from it. So, but he'd been through an incredible journey and we just wanted to highlight it and we thought it was such a cool opportunity to do. And it just
backfired.
It backfired because and the upside was like, I got the conversation with him afterwards that we wanted to get capture on camera. It was like the evolution he's made, how much she'd seen what he'd gone through and then the change that he's had, where he's at now and how that's impacted the kids' lives and so on, like, which was so great because then like he's like, oh, she doesn't tell me that face to face. Like, you never hear that from your wife. And probably it's probably one of those things like you never hear that from your team unless you make an opportunity for it to happen. So that's probably a really good point. Or maybe what do you, I don't know what I would say about myself. What would you say about me, Nathan? We'll go flip over.
Say about you.
Yeah, what's changed?
I think belief that people can do a job as good as you and handing it off, where you're open to that now, where you're actually giving the roles there and having autonomy within that role. So it doesn't have to be exactly how you think it can be. Someone can take it and as long as the outcomes are still getting made, they can have their flair on it. And it shows, it definitely shows. And that ownership and that contribution to making it their own, I think that's helped them have more like the meaning and the mission have more like substance where they feel like they're a part of it because a piece of them's actually involved in the day-to-day. And I think something that we've done a lot is obviously, like we said, is that the vision and the mission. But I think what it does, it gives like I said before, it gives the metrics meaning and it gives the processes purpose. And now they know those things, then they can actually get behind it. And like we had our 8th birthday and our manager Lily actually had a speech and it was ridiculous. Like it was absolutely amazing talking about the people. And honestly, it took me everything not to actually start crying, because you could actually feel, like you could feel she felt it.
Wow.
If that makes sense. Like she
shout
felt,
out to Lily.
Yeah, massive shout out to Lily. She felt the mission and the vision, and you could tell it wasn't just words. Like it come from the feeling, and that's where I think our success is. Where it's like the team can not only see where it's going, they understand why it's going there, but they can also feel it. Like they can feel the mission and their purpose within that.
I feel like a big thing that's been a step up for us is making the team feel like they're not just doing a job. Like they're building something. Like they're part of it. It's not just, okay, cool, this is Nathan Jake's gym and we're just filling a shift sort of thing here. It's like they're on the journey. They've got a say in where it goes. Like we try to bring them in as to when we are doing these things, where are we going? We want to know where they want to go. Like, we want to know what they want to build for themselves, what the life they want to have is, and then want to build around that as a team. Like we're not looking to go, all right, what just fills mine and Nate's cup? Like what's going to fill the cup for Jess, Lily, Claire, Annalise, Dan, all of the guys that are on our team? Is like, how are they part of the vision that we're building towards, and how do they get a say on that?
That's a massive.
I could play Lily's thing if you wanted me to.
You go what?
I could play it. It's in an Instagram video of her speech.
This is it's a massive clue for owners out there in terms of the difference between my staff don't care about.
Yeah, but like the thing with that, Dozer, is like the fitness industry is hard.
Yeah,
obviously, like we know that. So you need to be. I feel like you need to be a certain person to be in there for a long period of time. Like you want to help people, but to do those extra steps and to send the extra messages and whatnot, one, you need to have a desire to help. Except you need to think, and this is something that stuck with us, it's like your vision needs to be big enough to fit their vision in, but not only that, and when I talk to the guys, it's like we need to be able to accelerate it. Like it's not that you're just doing this thing in here. It's like what we're doing, we need to be able to actually put pace behind this thing so you can feel the impact. And that's where the return is. Like when I talk to the team, it's like there's a monetary return from a role, but then there's all these other returns too. And it's like we need to make sure those other returns are actually happening. Like you getting return emotionally. Can you see that you have clarity and confidence in where this thing's headed and the actual things that are happening on a day-to-day basis? And if they can have that return, obviously the money side's important because we know that, like it has to be there, but we need those other things there as well to go through.
Yeah, I think it needs to be like we've talked about this. Like Nathan and I have talked about this quite in depth. And the fitness industry, like obviously it's still new, really, and it's come from a bunch of people who didn't know how to operate businesses that generally wanted to get out of the 9-to-5 grind. So they become like the anti-business, and in doing so, it's made a whole bunch of like really poorly run businesses and poorly run standards across the board. So that there's not full-time careers for people that like coaches are fucking extremely valuable in people's lives. Like the impact that we've been able to see firsthand and then just across the board in the fitness industry is tremendous. Like we've got people that literally were going to take their own life and are now on track. And they're not just on track, like they're thriving. They're moving towards a vision they didn't have before they come through the doors. And these are things that like this happens on a day-to-day basis around gyms across the world. This is the impact that the fitness industry is making, but because we don't run collectively effective businesses, you've got gyms that are shutting down or you've got gyms that are burning out coaches who are great coaches because they can't see a future. They're stuck in the paid per class or paid per session. They're doing split shifts every day and they get home and their wife goes, we've got a baby on the way. And they go, oh, fuck, how am I going to afford this? I can't be morning and night out of action all the time. I'm just going to go and get another job.
A real job.
Yeah.
100%. And there's no reason why it can't be a real fucking career. It's just got to be made. Like we need to collectively step up as an industry and go, how are we making this work? So I think this is a big part. Like
Preach, brother.
A lot of gyms undercharge, but they undercharge because they undervalue and they can't pay a staff member what they
commodity
deserve.
Too.
Because
of why they're doing it.
Yeah, because they've set up around, oh no, I'll be in the business and I'll have 2 to 3 people that take like 5 to 6 hours a week and cover some classes so I can go home and be with the kids and stuff. And then it's like, well, you're never going to move past that if that's the standard.
Correct.
Like you have to build up. I know we're going to talk around other stuff like the spring season, but like you have to build up to what you can grow to and to make opportunities to push your way forward. And I think that's been a big part of us this year is like we brought on like 3 incredible staff members, but 2 of them had a lot of experience, and we were kind of lucky in a way. It was like one of our staff members, Claire, runs a gym in Sydney still, and she's been transitioning, moving her way up full time. And we went, if we're going to keep somebody like this, it's incredible. And the same, Lilu's coming back after having a second child, had moved back from the UK. Her husband used to play NRL, and then they wanted to settle down and like have some roots and build towards a career. And we went, we're not going to keep these guys on like 10 hours a week.
Nah.
Like they're going to jump around.
Let's create a future.
They're going to go to wherever it is. Like we have to create a future. Otherwise, we're not going to keep good team members. And that means our standard's going to drop. And if our standard drops, that's not what Newstrength's about.
100%.
Fucking strong. So what's your feedback to him?
Mate,
yes,
I think
Excited.
Nate's really showcased the work, the standards. Like that's a big thing. And I think he's been really, really big on like showing that to the team, communicating that to the team, and seeing how they can like build out their own thing. Like we're talking with the team, like Nate's trying to build out like what does their separation Sunday look like? Like, how can we create the standards that we've taken on, and then it's like, oh, how do we build that? Like the achievement roadmaps. He went and done that with the team as a workshop. Yeah. So he's been really big on, okay, how do we take the vision pieces and put it into action and connecting the team to that there. So I think that's been the biggest thing. And
that's
then
massive
continually
leadership.
showing up for himself with the 4 a.m. training sessions, the one-on-ones with the team members, and showing up with what the best of his energy for that there. And then like the juggle that he goes through of like doing sales calls on the side of the road with the kids in the car, nailing those things. I think that doesn't go unnoticed by the team either, of seeing like the amount that he's still juggling and getting the work done showcases like he's in it for the long haul with the team. And then I think off the back end of that, they go, well, if he's doing that, the least that I can give is my 110% when I'm on the floor with these clients.
Is that normal, Soph, or not?
No.
Normal?
No, it's not. Like, it's not normal. It's not normal.
But it can be.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I get back to. Like, you can choose for it to be normal. You create what's normal for you. What's normal for everyone else doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I get excited being in these rooms. I get fired up from it because there's no reason why it can't be. Like, there's no reason why any gym can't do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well,
those normal habits get normal results, like where you were stuck, you know? So, got to lift.
And it's like theory of constraints. Like you gave us the goal. The goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember
that's good.
Nath listened to audio. Nate's an audio guy. I like reading. And I read through it, and Nate's like, it's getting really good. And I read the first chapter. I was like, oh, this is interesting. The second chapter was like then it clicked into like where it's a business novel. And I was like, I don't know about, like, I don't want to listen to this bloke like fighting with his wife. And then another like day in, I was hooked, and I just like binged it the whole way through. But it was just so resonant of like identifying what's the gaps for you, what's the constraints, and then going from there. And often for us, it's us.
Dude, it's always us.
I actually named my chat Jonas after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always us. It's always us. A lot of studios with a partnership like this struggle with role bleed. How have you guys split your workflow? Who does what?
I think the thing that underlies this, and we've gotten better since being with Geronimo to actually have clear roles, but I think the biggest thing that's actually created the success in our partnership is like Jake and I are different. Everyone knows that. And it's a running joke sometimes between the members. Like we're very different, but our values that we hold underneath and our vision and our commitment to that is what we share. And I think that's where we're in 100% alignment.
Yeah.
Where we go through, and I think that's really contributed to it, where we know why we're doing it. We can always count on each other, and we have clear communication, and that's the foundation that these next things that we speak of are built off of.
Yeah.
I think that's really important because again, it creates meaning in these processes, or how we split the workload and where we lean into our strengths and whatnot. And then from that point, we can trust that the things are being done with this purpose and this meaning behind it. And then that way we can always count on each other to go through and come up with the outcomes.
Yeah, I think like from an early days of the business, like we always make decisions based on what worked for the business first and the brand, what worked for our clients and what worked for us. And if it wasn't a hell yes to all three of those things, then it wasn't happening. And that was, even if we weren't in agreement on what was the right next move, it had to be like it was a win-win-win for all three of those. Otherwise, it didn't happen. And we just went on to like, okay, cool. Does the idea need to pivot, or do we need to kill it and just move on to the next thing? And I think that's the reason ultimately that the biggest part of like that we've worked together so well for a long time is that we always put the business and the people ahead of ourselves. Like it's not about what's a win for Jacob.
Yeah.
Who's the more typical visionary of the two?
Flip flops with Jacob.
Yeah.
And then
I play Inception on Nath a lot.
Okay, good.
I'll suggest things to him, and then he's like, we made a move recently back to semi-private. So to give you guys context, we started at semi-private. That was our main service, like in 2017 when we started, and that was our gap. We'd come from one-on-one personal training, and we're like, this just wasn't working the way that we wanted it to. So we went hard at like semi-private's our thing. Like we were good with like the coaching, the programming. Like we thought the group side of stuff at the semi-private created a better service and a better engagement between the members and so on. So we went hard at that. And then we didn't do semi-private very well, to be honest. Like we managed it like a one-on-one PT. It wasn't bad.
Right. We got north to 100 members pretty quick.
Yeah, we had to learn a few lessons and in that there, and we ended up pivoting to group and one-to-one. And then as we've grown and we kind of started looking at, I think it was in the screenshot, it was either the one that you sent me or the one that you sent into the group yesterday. Like Nathan and I'll have 5 conversations going at once at all times.
Good.
Every chat.
Yeah.
Like it's just like this, and this.
Yeah, good.
And I love it too. Like it's funny. People are like, oh, isn't that busy or whatever? I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I want to know exactly where he's at and what he's thinking at all times so we can keep the momentum.
Yeah. So you're visionary, and does that make you the kind of more of the
integrator?
The integrator.
Yeah. It's like Jake will have an idea and then I'll come back and be like, how does this actually look and how does it actually work?
Yeah.
Do you know this combo is the winning combo?
Yeah, you guys remind me of you and Ben.
Me and Ben. How?
Well, yeah, there's the make it up and the make it happen with the team. And also just what you guys were saying before about knowing like, this is what we're doing now, but I've got more in me because like obviously Geronimo is not their first business. So you always talked about having like, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but this is building up to something else in the future. And it was like almost a vehicle of who you became that allowed you to springboard into the next thing. And it feels the same with you guys. Maybe a bit less swearing.
Oh, I don't know. I think we might have reined it in a little bit. I'm pretty bad sometimes. I was very concerned that I was going to teach Nate's first daughter to swear, and I was like, this is going to be a bad look.
Nah, she's got that handled.
The biggest thing for you guys that I found Benny and myself is that, like, if you listened in the next room to myself and Ben, if we had the locked door session, it'd probably sound like we were arguing, but that's where like iron sharpens iron, and it's the through the conflict, which is not conflict, but it sounds like it. But it's more about like through interrogating the idea and getting really curious about the data. Through that conflict, you get clarity. And on the other side of that, we both know when there's a moment we go, fuck, that's it.
Yeah. That was exactly when I moved back to semi-private. So it was like 6 months ago. I was like, with the team that we have and how we want to build up around it, there's no way that we can pay them what we want to pay them, sticking with the group and one-to-one model.
Yeah.
We need to go semi-private. We've got the team to do it. And Nate's like, but we're just so close to the run rate, like what we thought was possible. And then over the coming months, we were just getting blocked on availabilities. And then Nate's like, all right, we need to make the move. It's time to go back to semi-private.
And I think it's hard to do. Like for everyone listening, I think it's hard for partnerships to not take things personally or subjective if there isn't a vision
100%
that you're answering to.
And
that's the point.
Side of
Yeah. Because
well.
like that's the point, right? We always go back to whenever we get into a stalemate, we go, but play to win, which is like one of our standards, right? Or it's like, but the vision. Like there's that we're actually solving. It's not what you think or what I think. It's not like who's got a better idea. It's how do we solve that? Because we've already agreed to that. The team know that's where we're going.
100%. Does. And just to touch on that and the things you said that stood out, it's something that's popped up and I've learned through you guys. It needs to be intense but not tense, the conversation. And that's something that I take to the team in the meetings. It's like we need to have intensity about these things, but it doesn't mean it has to be tense. And then another thing is when we make a decision, we all back each other. Like whether you agree with it or not, like you have the chance to be heard and contribute. But then once the team makes the decision, everyone's behind them 100%. I think that's something Jacob and I had done really well for a long period of time, but we just didn't know that we were doing it well. Even if we didn't agree 100%, if one of us made a decision, we backed them 110% no matter what, because we had their back, because that was, like you said, that's the mission, that's where we're going. And me not being 110% behind that isn't going to help the idea.
Correct.
So if we need to pivot, we need to kill it, whatever it is, we're better off being 110% together rather than not all in.
If, okay, so visionary integrator, run us through what a typical week looks like as $1 million studio owner.
We have our level 10 on how
let's run us through it.
Let's start it on a Sunday. Separation Sunday would be the first thing. Yeah. So Jake and I, thank you. No, very, very much. The Separation Sunday, it's honestly, it's been a massive game changer. Like, we haven't missed one since starting.
I can fucking tell,
done
man.
it. We went to Officeworks. I got them printed off for the both of us. I was like, we're doing it on paper because I want to fucking actually write it. And it feels meaningful to me. I just I like to roll back to.
Yeah.
Like, I flicked back through and had our like CAPM, our active members. I was going from like the 170s to 80s to 90s to plus 200. And I can actually look at it happening. I love that. And it puts meaning in that, in those metrics. So having that up and then set up, and then we run some things from EOS. So we have our level 10 with the core team,
which is the leadership team.
On the Separation Sunday thing.
Yeah.
You're always first. You're always the first person to tag me.
Because of the 4 a.m. thing.
No, but that's it. Sometimes, like, I will wake up from the buzz. Like, that's how early it is. I'm fine with it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
He's on.
He's on. We're ready.
Yeah. Sometimes the only person that tries to get in earlier is like a Christy or something. We'll try to do it on a Saturday, but it doesn't count.
No,
it's the Sunday.
Always count. 100%. I can always count on you guys doing it.
That's been massive.
Like, Nate's had to change his cafe location for it recently, and they weren't even open. He was furious about
it. Yeah, you're right.
I did. That did happen. But it just sets, like, it gives you clarity and direction. It also gives you a guide of what winning looks like for the week. Like, how do we win the week? What does that look like? And then when we actually get to the team, and this probably can be in the answer before about what's changed, it's like we can actually bring clarity to the team, and then they can have their contribution in that level 10. It's like, this is our scorecards. We'll have our scorecards to bring to that level 10. Like, what's on track, off track. If it's off track, it goes to IDS, and we chat about that. And that gives us the opportunity to go, okay, it's intense but not tense. We create tasks around that, and then we can deploy that into the week. And we have our metrics that we know what winning looks like. And then it's about winning and leaning on each other. And like you guys say, and we've taken on board, like, everyone has their KPIs, but it doesn't mean that they're the only person that can make that KPI happen. Where we can lean on our teammates, we can get together to make sure it can be fuck yeah Friday, or if it's not that, why was it not that? And then we can take that into Sunday and we go, okay, cool, what actually needs to change here, rather than saying like with having a wobbly week, it's like, oh, was it just that, or is there depth and meaning here that we actually have to extract and take it into that next week, and what's it actually look like? And I think for us, it comes back to having the standards, but also just having honest conversations with yourself. And I think I'd like to think that's something Jake and I are good at, and we don't take it personally because it is mission driven. It's like, what's off track? Why is it off track? And generally, like I said, it's not the plane, it's the pilot. And how can we make sure we bring that forward? So that's Sunday, then Monday through, but I'll let Jake take some of it from there as well.
And just to decode, so level 10 is like the leadership meeting, and IDS is the issue, discuss, and solve component of a Monday morning meeting, or Monday afternoon meeting, whatever.
Yeah. So that's pretty much our like crossover there. Like, I'll go through daily ad reviews every day, no matter what, review what's working, what's not, what do we want to tweak and pivot. And then I have it formally in my calendar to do like the creative update on Monday, but honestly, I don't wait. Like, if there's another day and I'm like, these things are tanking a little bit, I need something else here, like, I'll create something and chuck it in straight away. Like, that's probably a limitation for me, or something that I need to get better at, is like scheduling in set times for things. But then at the same time, like, that's one of the, like, lead flow is somewhat the lifeblood of your business. So I'm like, well, I'm not waiting till, if it's Friday, I'm not waiting till Monday to update it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make it happen now. I'm going to get fresh ads going for the weekend, and hopefully we can get that tinkered and working its way through. Tuesdays, we have our team development meeting. Like, sometimes that's where we'll book our content shoot. So we'll do our hour with the team, whether that's delivering something that we want to develop the team up on. Like, this week coming is going to be the 7 asks. We're going to take that to the team this week.
Which is our referral framework.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to take that, roll through that there, and that's going to help us we want to try to do our best. Like, we've got good lead flow coming through at the moment, but we also want to stick to that like 40% organic lead flow as well, and trying to make sure we can get the right members as well as those front end offers and stuff like that too. So that's a great opportunity for us to upskill the team in something and then take it back there and then bring that back around the following week or the following month and go, how are we going with this? What things do we need to troubleshoot? Do we need to tweak the playbook? Because obviously we are different to some of the other gyms in Geronimo, and the playbook isn't going to be exactly the same for us versus Mo versus Paulie or anything like that. So it's how do we make it Newstrength? And that's the thing that we want to do on that there. I still have probably a little bit more coaching than Nath does, but Nath,
I run the 1-to-1s on the Tuesday as well. We hit them every single week, and we have a monthly framework, but it breaks down into weekly. And we base them off like that reverse engineer of wherever they're going through the achievement roadmaps to make sure we can stay on track. And
also Tuesday's MDS call, you never miss.
Yeah, that too.
Fired up.
Yeah, I'm on double drop off normally in the car. Then with that, it's just making sure we're in alignment. And when I talk to the team, it's like, my big thing for them is like, I need you to be stretched, but equally supported. So through like understanding where we're going, resources, whatever it may be. And that's generally my check-in.
I challenge our support.
Yeah, can I ask you a question on that? So you guys have mentioned standards a lot. You guys hold yourselves to a very high standard. How do you do that with the team?
I think it comes back to and Jake might have some stuff he wants to touch on this. I think it comes back to the mission and the vision and then them seeing us do it. I really think it's more through actions than what I say in that one-to-one setting.
Yeah.
And it's if I can actually embody it and do it, I hope will organically want to do that and raise to that bar. There's certainly like understanding and conversations would help. Like if Dozer was on the team, I could understand Dozer as a staff member, or I could understand him as a person and where he wants to do and where he wants to take his kids and what car he wants to drive and all those things. So when I do have a conversation, it has meaning because the person feels understood. And that's the same for members as well. Like when you communicate with someone, you have to understand them for them to actually take value from what you say. Yeah. So there's that, but I do think the actions are first. Like the actions have to be there. You have to lead through what you're doing. And then once you have that leadership through what you're doing, then understand them as an individual and then make sure the communication that you're using is actually being absorbed. And I think that's dynamic too, where as a leader, something I've learned, it's like it's not always what's said, it's what's heard. And for each person, that's a little bit different. So you do need to understand them. But I think there's that hierarchy. It's like, make sure you're doing it, make sure you understand them as an individual, then tweak your language as you need to for that person to actually take on board whatever it is to go through from there.
I got nothing to add. I think you nailed it, mate. I think the biggest part for us as well is like we want to have a team that not only we're proud of, but we want to spend time with outside of work.
Yeah,
too.
this
like
weekend.
Like we've got Nate's son's birthday parties tomorrow. We're all going to be heading down the reptile park, and
oh man,
it'd be a great time. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, and that's understanding the guys as people. Because I think like when we are friends and we genuinely enjoy each other's company, outside of that, like they're going to go the extra mile for things, and they're not going to mind if you do call them out for like, hey, look, I know you wanted to get it. Like we're getting this done on Friday. Where's it at? What's going on? It's like, yeah, cool. I told you before, I dropped the ball on getting lead magnets going, and I didn't want to have to say it, but then that's going to mean I'm not going to miss that again.
No,
the don't miss twice mentality is very, very big for us, and we try to push that as much as we can. And I think if it comes from that personal layer first, and where you're setting the standard, and then you're also there as a person-to-person relationship with them, I think they're just going to be in a good space.
Yeah.
100%
weapons.
Jake.
So got one-on-ones.
He's got like the proudest smile.
No, I'm really proud of you guys.
Thanks,
man. That means a lot.
It does mean a lot.
We're not done.
No, there is so much. There is so much more in you guys. Like this is all great, and like full stop. But there is so much more in you guys. I can just tell. Like you guys are you're handling it so well. Like you've absorbed it. Every book I fucking told you to read, you've read. You've installed it. There's level 10s, IDSs. There's fucking scorecards, KPIs. Like you're doing it. You remind me without like me and Benny. And
equally as good looking too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do the mustache, so I'm half Asian. It just looks like I'm going through a phase. But okay, so you're about to crack the mill. What next?
We set out the vision book that we put together. Nath booked a nice little cute retreat out the back of Taree, out the back of the bush, and
the best part.
Yeah, it was very romantic. It was a one bedroom room. Nath ended up sleeping in the lounge room in front of the fire. we've shared a bed before on little things before. I wouldn't have worried about it. I'm used to being just pushed off the side of the bed by the kids.
Once again, reminds me of myself in bed.
Yeah, you guys book your little romantic
Team Stitch us that once and booked us a room up at Newcastle with a love tub in the same room, like literally a heart-shaped hot tub in the same room. We FaceTimed our EA at Zorro and went, the fuck is this? Team loved it. Anyway, go back to you.
Yeah, so like we said, we spent a couple of days away there. That was really like it was great to go through. I think that's if there's anyone that's in the academy that hasn't done the solo retreat yet, you have to do it. And if you got a business partner, like probably good for you to do. Like I don't know how you stand. I know you do it solo without Ben, but like Nathan and I, it was really good for us to just have 2 days out of the business. Like, yeah, we got to talk about the business and where we wanted to go, but we got 2 days as mates too. And that was really important for our relationship too. But we set the goals. The goal's 300 members active. It's one, the systems are dialed in. They're like the team are nailing it. They can do that. Like they can reiterate and evolve the systems themselves. And really the big thing that we want to go to is we want to take the team on a retreat over to New Zealand. So we've got my wife Jess. Happening. She's Māori background, like her mum's from New Zealand, and Lily, one of our team members, manager, she grew up in New Zealand. So there's a bit of culture there. Obviously, like my kids are then part Māori, but then have never been there. So it's a beautiful place, the scenery, Queenstown. Like we figured, and it's outdoor, it's active. Like for us, it's like that's the sort of stuff that we love doing, like mountain biking, out on the lake fishing, all those sort of things. Like that's the lifestyle that we want for ourselves, for our kids. And it seems like it would be a very important place culturally. And obviously, like I know one of the books that you guys gave us to read was Legacy, and going through that and the All Blacks culture just hits home so well. And I was like, that's a place that obviously we talked about how much we feel like we've got to grow, is like having some connection in that there. It gives me that's what's going to fire us up for the next level after that.
So what needs to be achieved to unlock that?
Right, just keep showing up. Like,
is it the 300? No,
yeah.
Like the 300 is probably more of a sign. Like then that's like a big part of us as well. Is like we spoke before about like the industry kind of sucks. Like we want to be able to pay.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
We want to be able to pay our team really, really well for the work they do because we think they're incredible, and we want to be able to change the standard for the fitness industry for coaches there. And at that number, we think we can make a huge impact on that. The team can have the team can have the lifestyle they want to live.
Yeah.
The members that we get to impact and the impact that we're going to have on the Newcastle community is going to be where we see it to be. Like we want to change the future of Newcastle for our kids to grow up in. Like we want them to see strength, health, and community connection as a centerpiece of what they grew up in and what's normal. Like I had guys that I went to school with that their dad went to the pub every other. Yeah. And there's 2 ways that they all went. They either followed the same thing and they go to the pub every other, or they went hardball against it because they hated that their dad did that. The only time when it's a positive thing that your parents go off, like going and doing something and the person goes as a negative, is not because it's done as a positive. It's like, oh, my dad was at the gym every afternoon for 2 hours and he avoided spending time with me. So fuck that, I'm not going to the gym. But if you're going to the gym so you can show up for your kids and in the best version of yourself, if you're taking them out, you're having these adventures and retreats with your kids and these experiences there, that's what they're going to see as normal. And that's what we want to showcase to not only us, our own families, but the Newcastle community. That's what we want to make normal for them to grow up in. And I think 300 it's probably a sign of like, at the same time as like we've done it, but we're also just getting started too.
You haven't had the pleasure of like reading it yet, but there's like the full vision book and now it's designed is what I'm hearing.
It's designed. It is designed. We're
going to get our own copy.
You will.
You said 300.
Mm-hmm.
That's 300 actives, right?
Yeah, 300 actives. It would have us at 1.5 mil run rate.
With what you guys are doing with content, why not add 2 or 3 more zeros to the back end of that? Because I think your content and that message will impact more people than your bricks and mortar will. But 300 actives at the gym and 300,000 through your content.
Yeah, there's no reason why it can't be. Like the first step for me though is I want to make like the local connection in the community the way that we want it to be, and then I think off the back end of that, the rest of it will continue to happen.
Yeah,
I think that's just the checkpoint on the road to then keep moving forward. The milestone to then go, okay, whether that's a second facility down the road, the first step is this next piece of the vision, the 300, the taking the team away and having a retreat over in New Zealand with them. And then I know the way that things have gone in the last year. Like it's been drinking from a fire hose, and the same, as I said before, it's like the team are constantly like, oh, they've got another thing now that they want to do. There's another thing that we're moving towards, and the market changes constantly. So I'm sure by the time we even get close, we're going to have the next 5 things lined up, and we're going to already be excited and firing for that. And
all right, let's put some time frames against it. Wait.
Yeah.
It's my favorite game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go 3, 2, 1.
Oh, time frame on which one?
300.
It's in the vision book. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's done.
Okay, wait. Well, this is gonna prove the point, right?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
2028.
Do you guys know the coolest part about that was when I was grabbing, I actually went back to your sales notes from when whoever you spoke to, was it Ash or something? And literally in a quote, it was like, it would be the dream to hit the 210.
Yeah.
Which you've surpassed now. Like it's pretty
mental.
It's
on my
Yeah.
So 3, oh my God,
members.
he's got it on his fucking
I know.
12.
Frequency.
So 300 members by 2028.
Yep.
I reckon you'll get there sooner, but anyway.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
What if, like, what would need to be true to be there this time next year?
Mate, honestly, if the way that we've set up our hiring plan and all the steps for the next year, like if we just nail down on that, there's no reason why it couldn't be. Like if we just knuckle down, like we've got our hiring plan to bring in another coach, another media assistant to help out the content creation. Obviously that'll continue to free us up to then continue to level up ourselves. And like ultimately everything, as we said, is a skill gap. It's like the reason why we're not at 300 right now is because we don't collectively have the skills to be at 300. Like, so the only way to fix that is up-level your skills, bring in extra skills or extra manpower from other people. And that's the only gaps. Like, it's just us getting better and bringing more people onto the team to do that.
So we're at 220.
Yeah.
220 something?
220.
220. Yeah. 220 to 300, Soph. Like we've seen that hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think is a reasonable time frame?
Yeah, within the year. Like probably sooner, especially because we're in separation season now. It's just what you guys are already doing with the flywheel content, which has picked up heaps.
300
and someone else selling.
In 2026. It's got a nice ring to it.
It does. It does.
Lily and team, get your passports ready and prepare for takeoff.
100%.
Yeah. We'll run head first at it.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
So update their plan 2026.
Got to reprint the book now.
What would you, like, if you were sitting across from us, let's pretend Soph is a studio owner that's stuck at like 20 to 30K monthly. But can have 300, right?
Yep.
I should just throw some like shit that I hear at you.
All right, 20 to 30K.
A month.
Yeah, a month. What would you say to them?
Probably ask her how does she feel about it.
What if I said, yeah, I think I can get there?
I'm not sold. You
haven't done it for me, Soph.
Like, why are you doing it, Soph? Why would you go into an industry that's like the second highest failed industry and not get a normal job? Like, why are you here?
Damn.
Because I want to help people.
How many people do you want to help?
300.
Do you think they deserve it? Do you think they need it?
100%.
Are you doing everything in your power to help 300 people?
And then they will probably say something like, I'm trying to rack my brain. This could be cool. I know this isn't scripted, but like a rapid fire.
And what
would you say to this?
Like so there's been 10 gyms in Newcastle to shut over the last year.
Wow.
Like we brought this up in the team and there's probably more. There's 10 that we know of. So there's probably more than that. And one, that's always a shame because there's coaches that probably won't go and jump over it. Like they'll leave the industry that are good coaches there. There's the members there that some of them will jump to the next gym, but some of those guys never find a home again, somewhere that they feel safe to train, to exercise, to feel supported to where they go because they had that place that
we had one startup, took 2 years to reach back out through the front end of it.
Yeah. So, and one of these gyms, I happened to talk to one of their members after it shut, and they sat down all their members on the last day and were like, well, it's the economy, sales and marketing doesn't work for gyms.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's wrong. It's all about the community, etc. And she was telling me, and I was like, we're at a record high at the moment. Like this is nearly 12 months ago. I was like, we are record numbers right now. There's no reason why it doesn't work. And she's like, no. Ads don't work. I'm like, we are running ads quite a lot right now. And I can tell you it's working. And she's like, no, they said it. And I was like, respectfully, it's hard to say something about like something you wouldn't do when you shut down because of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's ultimately it's like, if it's not working or if you're not where you want to be, what is it within yourself that you aren't doing or that you don't know yet to get you there? Or are you a little bit like me and you're holding on to everything? Like, are you not willing to let somebody else take over? Like I let Lily take over our programming for our group classes for the first time in
bossed it too.
Like what, 4 years?
Yep.
I think it's been 4 years since you had a run of it for 6 months, 12 months. And like that took me a long time to let go. And let go, because that was my baby. That was like the people that were producing out of that, the results that we get. And I'm a nerd about that stuff.
What do you think, Lily? How do you think she felt about you finally letting go and like giving her that responsibility?
I think she's excited. She's also said to me, she kind of asked if I wanted it back after the first one because she realized how much work's in there. And she's like, she did say, she's like,
I had a one-to-one with her about this. So you go first.
She's like, I didn't realize how much work that you were doing on the background to make this happen.
But does she think you trusted her more or less?
Oh, definitely more.
Yeah. And something she said to me in the one-to-one where she wasn't sure if she could do it, and the fact that she pieced it together, she feels really proud.
Oh,
she
wow.
felt like she was so stretched, and she was like, I don't know if I'm actually going to do this. And she done it and put it together. So, and then on the other side of that, obviously that sense of achievement, and it's again the stretch. It's the stretch support. Like it's stretch where it's like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this. And then they do it, and then it's like, fuck, what else is?
That's
2026,
like,
300, same fucking shit.
Yeah, we
right
just
now.
did it, bro.
Yeah, just the seed that's planted,
it.
and then you essentially create evidence to suggest and show you can.
We talk a lot about like, yes, we do physical transformation. The thing that we sell is belief. Like
100%.
We show
100%.
people through the evidence of them achieving like their fitness goals or doing things they never realized they could do before, that there's more possibility for them. They can be more than they are right now. And then once they realize that, it's the same as what we were talking about just before of like, we don't know what we're capable of. We know that we're capable of more, but when you get a few steps down there, like all of a sudden these possibilities open up for you.
100%.
What you think you can achieve in your lifetime goes from here to here. The world's out there trying to prove you wrong on things. We're here to prove you right.
Yeah, 100%.
Love that. So Stuck's still at 20 to 30K. What's the biggest mistake you'd warn her not to make?
Fuck, ask for it, get help.
Yeah, and be easy to buy from. I think it's a big thing.
I like that one. That's good.
And that obviously.
What if I hate sales? Just don't. I'm
glad you said that. Like this is what Jake just said with like we build belief. The sales process is the first seed we plant of belief. It's like you come in and you have a little flicker of hope that maybe this fucking thing will be the right thing. And then it's your job, whoever's making the sale. It's like you need to actually, again, same with what I was talking about with Doze. It's like you need to understand the person. You need to hear them where they're at, and you need to instill the belief that they can get from this point here to that point that they want to be. And then that is if it is, like it's your method that you're going to take them through. Yeah. And if you don't understand that's what you're doing in that first thing, and you think a sale is something like a fucking car salesman trying to do it, I think you've lost sight of the impact and what actually training can do for someone's life. Like you need to actually understand. I heard a thing recently actually that would fit well with people. It's like make a friend and help a friend. In sales, it's like the first bit you need to actually understand the individual, and then you need to help that individual. Like if you think this is like a sleazy sales process, you either don't understand what you're actually doing, like in the first place within your studio or whatever it may be, or you just need to take off some layers of beliefs that are being put up around you from however that's come about. But if that doesn't happen, then the next thing doesn't happen. Like everyone's selling all the time, whether people like to hear it or not. Like, and it's a belief transfer is what I believe it is. And it's like, I have this belief that I can take stuck Sally to this point or whatever it is, but I need to make sure that I can make her feel like she believes it. So she has enough belief to action it. And then that action creates more belief and more evidence to show that she can. And then that's where Hod said before, like, that's where we create belief in a longer term where their life can actually change and they want to live again and they want to show up for their kids. And those, like I said before, earlier in the pod, it's like it's not the reps, it's the ripples, but the ripples start from that belief injection in a sales call.
At the very beginning.
Like, and it has to happen there. If it doesn't happen there, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's fucked. Like you're not doing the job, you're not doing your mission. And that's why to go with Hodsy before, like making sales while the kids are in the back screaming or pulled over on the side of the road. It's like, it's easier to do that because of that. It's like, I understand this person's reached out for help.
It's not about you.
No, it's not. And I think that's like That's so right. So it's not about me. And I think that can actually be a lot of the success of what we do. It's like, it's not about us as an individual. It's the mission, it's the purpose, and it's how we inject belief into people through our process and what we do in our mission. And then that's why people stick as well, because it's got purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
What's the one move Stuck Soph should make if she wants to hit $1 million in her business and the 300 members?
Can I say join Geronimo?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Who shouldn't join Geronimo? Real talk.
Simple. Like if you're not willing to do the work, like as we said before, like how did we feel when we saw the amount of things that was in there? And I remember I know there's been quite a few of the Newcastle gyms that have joined after we've joined, and we chat to quite a few of them, and one of them was like, geez, there's so much stuff there. And I was like, and what, like, where's this going? And they're like, they were obviously overwhelmed by it. And I was like, if all this stuff, you're not doing it, then there's opportunity for you. Like if you're not willing to then overhaul things, if you're not willing to break down what you've built in the way that you've built it to then go to the next step, don't join. Like, cause it's going to overwhelm you. You're going to be out of pocket for it. Like, and you're not going to get anywhere.
On that. So one of you guys sent me a message and I just read the start of it and I was like, oh, I don't know what this message is because of what I'm used to reading. Yeah. You were like, can you send me a list of all the Newcastle gyms that you're working with? And I just thought, oh, fuck, are they like upset about it or something? Because we do get that. And you go, so that we can run our own little fucking meetup. And I was like, this is why I love you guys. You know, you're not looking for like, oh, well, they're running a kickstart too. It's just like, how can we make each other better?
I think it's what you said before. So if someone's so self-focused, then it's going to be hard for them. They have to be willing to shed that 80% of themselves to level up to be the pilot that they need to be to drive this thing where it needs to go. I think that's a big separator that I've noticed. Like if someone's really self-focused, they're not actually focused on the mission and the impact, then they're probably not ready to join because they probably will feel overwhelmed and it'll seem like there's all these things. But I think that's when they're so focused on themselves and how they're feeling, not so much out like it's the mission, it's the vision, it's this thing that's bigger than me and how am I going to help facilitate that? And then I think it comes back to what Jacob said, it feels like resources and support, and it feels like you have all this stuff here to lean on to make this mission happen. Not so much like I need to do this. Oh, this is about me. It's not me. It's not I. It's us, and it's this thing that we're moving towards.
Yeah, and I suppose when it's about the one person, it's just like at the gym. If you have someone else that you're doing it for, you don't want to let them down. But if it's just you, it's easier, like you said as well, to negotiate with yourself and go, okay, I just won't go, or I just won't do it, or I'll just quit.
Yeah. Gents, we're going to land this plane because I'm hungry. No, but honestly, like I'm so glad we've all agreed that 300 by 2026
is the new big
is the new, because like I got a message from the team saying, can you hurry them up because we're trying to get to New Zealand.
Yep.
And so 300 by 2026 it's going to be so good. You guys we always say it's not the plane, it's the pilot. We're looking at 2 pilots right now that are about to become fucking Top Guns. And broke people let their feelings fly the plane. You guys, Top Guns, let the standards fly the planes. And that's what you guys have done personally and with your teams and, you know, as leaders. For the listeners out there, if like these guys, you think $1 million studios or getting to the $1 million studio mark is rare, it's probably because you're hanging out in circles where it is rare. There is somewhere else in the world where hitting $1 million happens every single month, and that's in a program called $1 Million Studios. I don't normally do a hard plug, but as these guys are talking, I just keep thinking to myself, where are other people kind of in a pond that is keeping them small? And one of my biggest things, like Indy, when she sat here, was like unmet potential. Like I'm in my sequel now, right? My life.
Yep.
And I don't want people to fucking die with some juice left in the tank that they never had the courage to take the fucking shot. So if you're out there somewhere and like these guys, you thought, I'm fucking sick of fine. Yeah, the land of fine. Fuck that. Mm-hmm. Then these guys were smart enough to get help. These guys were smart enough to reach out. They had the fuck it moment, which we all did, but then they were smart enough to get help. So if you're like these guys and you want to kind of cruise around in a circle with these guys, where hitting $1 million is absolutely fucking normal, then find me on Instagram at hey.dozer and DM me the word million, and we'll show you the map. We'll show you the plan and how to get there. Boys, you're not done yet.
Never. No, definitely not done. Definitely not done.
But fuck me, you've done an amazing job.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
On behalf of the Newcastle community, to be honest, and your families and your team,
And I know like the Geronimo network as well. They love you guys.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it very much.
It's absolutely inspiring, but response mentality. By the time this episode comes out, let's make this as a fucking commitment. By the time this episode comes out, you've hit $1 million.
Yeah, 100%.
Deal. Boys,
yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man. All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Love you, listeners. Bye. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. If something resonated with you, then do one of two things. Either leave a review or send this episode to a mate who's in the industry who might need to hear this. But if you want more right now, because your head might be spinning and you're like, all right, what the hell do I do right now? Then in the show notes, you'll find a link to where you can book in for a free 15-minute checkup on your studio, where we get to have a look at how you're going right now and where some of the kind of quick win opportunities are to get you moving faster. I can't wait to be back in your ears next week. And if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know that I love you, I appreciate you, I'm grateful for you, and I'm in your corner. You are on the right track and I believe in you. So keep going, and I'll see you next week.